Hello everyone, welcome to Hyperbole. Yes, I know it's Hyperbole, but Hyperbole makes it mine. I just, for real, got out of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, a couple hours ago. It is opening night, the 16th. You are seeing this before you're seeing any of my 4 other Hyperboles. I recorded 4 of them in a row. They're going to be going up over the next little week, Christmas-wise. That's why this one's numbered out of order, but they don't need to be watched in order. It's just the number that I do them. This one is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I always felt they should have called it a Star Wars saga, but anyway. This is something that I was really interested in seeing. I wanted to see this movie very, very badly. The idea of kind of a more low-key, grounded Star Wars movie about the Death Star plans. And, I mean, we all know what's going to happen, but is it a story worth telling? And I think it is. And this was executed super well. There's a couple dumb moments where I'm like, but I'm not going to do any spoilers, don't worry about that. This movie ties in perfect between 3 and 4. More toward 4, to be honest. It's very much toward that, because obviously the Death Star plans, and 4 opens with the Death Star plans, so it's that kind of thing. What we have is filling in a lot of gaps that didn't need to be filled in, but is interesting to do so. It's got a great cast. Everybody across the board is pretty great. I know there's been talk about Forrest Whitaker's voice, but it's fine. I didn't have much problem with it, because I guess it's limiting in how much he does it, so that's fine. There's neat use of actual stuff from the original Star Wars, considering some of the stuff ties in, so it's not like 300 did, where they simply reused bits of 300 in Rise of an Empire, because it happened at the same time. This is a more creative way to use it, so that's neat. The big heroes you expect from that era, it's not the Skywalker saga. It's this story. And it's good to see an expansion of the Star Wars universe, this big grand empire epic, finally go somewhere else. Logical, that does still tie in and is important. So that's what this is. The visual effects are amazing. This easily has my favorite Star Wars battles I've ever seen. The Scarif fight is so well done. So great. Vader's in the trailers, he's in the poster. He's not in it much, but he's awesome when he's in it. I loved Krennic, the director of the Death Star stuff. He's like an early Ian McKellen. He looks like him, and kind of is a little bit like him, but he's great. Like I said, Forrest Whitaker is usually great. He's okay here. I didn't like Diego Luna all that much, or Razmati, I think his name is. Captain Anders and Bodhi, the pilot. They're alright. I just never cared for them that much. It's almost like they tried to give you reasons to care, but I never quite latched onto it. Jyn, I really liked. Her family is, I mean, it's Mads Mikkelsen. He's awesome. Her mom is very brief at the start, so that's that. But the other guys, Baze and Chirrut, some guy I don't recognize, and Donnie Yen, they're awesome too. And it just works. Like everything works well. And K2SO. The Imperial droid that's in it is so awesome. He probably steals the show, honestly. He's great. Alan Tudyk plays him. And it's very Wall-E-like in that it's a 3PO droid, but without even really a mouth, it's just eyes and just head movement. And the expressions that you get off of that are amazing. It's a war movie. There's one part where I'm like, they look like GIs. And they go in and they have an actual like war battle, and the sense of scale is great, because before you saw it from like a little bit from a distance, this one you're in with them. In the trenches, I guess is a good way to put it. So it works really well. Easily my favorite Star Wars battles. Granted, the other ones didn't do them quite as much, or they threw too much at you like Sith did. 3 was just horrible in the beginning of it. Everything happens for a reason. And it works well, and is good. Like, I can't get over how well done it was, considering how also not Star Wars it is, because there's no opening crawl. But that's for the episode. This is different. It's its own thing. But the game's always had an opening crawl. So this is literally branching out on Star Wars, and yet still is Star Wars. And it's like what I say, you'll see it upcoming in Keeping Up with the Joneses, but I say about Mr. and Mrs. Smith. When you do a story about this that happens to be about these things, you gotta have both parts. So it's a comedy about this couple not getting along, but they're international spies. So you've got to actually, when you do the spy stuff, have to make it spy movie level in your comedy movie. And that's what happens here. They do like a small band going to war very well in Star Wars, and that's done very well. So it does cover the ground on both. The guy who did Godzilla, Gareth Edwards, directed this. I was bored by Godzilla. Absolutely bored. The characters were bland. The one character I liked was Cranston. He's barely in it. And I didn't care. I never cared. And this movie, I cared the whole time. I loved it. It was great. And not just because it was Star Wars, but interesting characters, interesting visuals, the look of it. Things were just like familiar, but from a different angle, a different lens. Like, it's silly, but at one point you see the Death Star just kind of, but it's upside down from your angle. Like, you always seem to see it like the Apple logo. It's like this with the circle here. But it was like down here instead. Why not? It makes sense, right? And they do stuff like that all the time. It's really, really great. And I recommend it. Played by the Blu-ray, 100%. I want to watch it again. It's that good. Is it my favorite movie of the year? No. I still like Doctor Strange better, I think. But it might just be because I've had time to think about that one. It's right in there, but that's still like top 5. I kind of really need to reevaluate. I don't even remember what my number 1 movie of the year is, interestingly enough. So it's a fun thing to see, because I'm going to do a little just breakdown of what that is when it's all done. But do stay tuned. There will be 4 more Hyperboles retroactively numbered, because I did them, and they're already uploaded. They're going to be coming out starting on Saturday, and then I think 3 days later, up to the 26th, they're coming up. There is Arrival, Keeping Up with the Joneses, Fantastic Beasts, and I literally forget. And that's not an indicator of the movie. I liked all these movies, mostly. The Accountant. This has been over a month since I saw them. They're all pretty good. But to see what I really think, do check those out. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to be on a Christmas vacation. Otherwise, I'll still be updating social media and all that fun stuff. That is all Cyclops Scott on Facebook and Twitter. The Guilty Pleasure Cinema on .com and on Twitter. And I'm also getting over a cold. Cyclops Scott on YouTube and Twitter. Guilty Pleasure Cinema.com and Facebook. There you go. Do check all that stuff out as well. I do hope you have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas. I don't have any more videos coming up until probably the new year, but I'm going to be writing and shooting more stuff as well. So, Star Wars, Rogue One, yay! These are the 3D glasses I got anyway. Stormtrooper and Death Trooper. They're awesome too. There's, oh, the war. You get to see war in Star Wars. It's pretty great. So, go check it out. Absolutely 100%. Go see it. There's not really twist spoilery stuff, but you just don't want to know beforehand. So, go see it. Period. 3D's great too, by the way. And that's it. See you next time.